Living every day in your head for free. You can tap away, but I will not hear you scream. You can break your keys, spread your toxicity, your world outside reality. In your room, a little hideaway, but you let it through. Enough to go insane. Living in the dark hasn't treated you well. You're building your own prison cell. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it on me. Did I brush you off? Is it your lack of friends? We never met, even if you pretend. Am I in your debt? I don't owe you nothing. Don't say something you'll regret. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it on me. Hate, rage, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it on me. Wait, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it. I'm telling you, don't waste it. Life's telling you, don't waste it on me. What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let 'em burn it out. Sell 'em to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. The brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away. Burn away, we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To play haters' face.
Welcome to the Throttle Up Racing Network. Tonight we're with the Gadgit Solutions Next Gen Cup Series. We're about 15 seconds until we go to grid. The starting lineup is set. We'll be going racing for 100 laps. This is a new series here on the Throttle Up Racing Network. We're going to have two stages in this race. One at lap 30, one at lap 60, and there will be stage cautions for both of those. And as we get ready to go to the grid, there's the grid all down pit lane. Starting from the number 1 starting position, Gary Cronenwet in the number 88. Quentin Clark, the number 94. He's going to start outside pole. Starting in 3rd place, John Elkins. In 4th is Kayla McCarthy. 5th starting spot, John Anderson. 6th is Landon Lacey. 7th, Michael Overstreet. 8th, Brandon Laster. Michael Overstreet in 9th. Take a look through our grid here. In 9th is Aaron Mack. In 10th is Enzo. On back through the field, 11th, Matt Wilkinson. 12th, Adam Brown. 13th, Ryan Smith. 14th, Frank Wade. Simon Grills. 15th, Garrett Frock. 16th, Jonathan Byron. In 17th, Michael Doan. And 18th, J. Rob Masterson. 19th, Cody Bullock. Round out your top 20. Rest of the field trying to spot your driver. As we get ready to come down to the green flag. There are 43 participants in this race. 40 in the session right now, so take a quick look at our race info. 77 degrees outside, it's 78 on the track temp. Daytona International Speedway, 2.5 mile racetrack as we get ready to go green. And there's the green flag. We are underway here in the Gadgit Solutions Next Gen Cup Series. The number 94, Clark, able to get down in front of the 88 of Cronenwet to become the leader. Everyone getting out into a single file already. Single file all the way around. A little bit of action in the back, but everyone's settling in. Lap 1 in the books. Quentin Clark will lead the first lap. Not much movement so far, but Jonathan Byram in the number 54. He's gained 4 spots. Garrett West back here in the 43. He's up 5 positions, so a little bit of movement early in the race here. Quentin Clark continues to lead. Like I said, we will have a caution for the stage at the end of lap 30. These guys will get 2 faster pairs, 60% fuel, 5 sets of tires available to put on these cars as we go through the night. Kayla McCarthy, she settles there right now in the 4th position. And with 60% fuel, we should see everyone pitting right around lap 20. We've got a caution. Oh, there goes one around. Look like the 00. 007, actually, triple number. See if we can figure out just what happened. Like he and the 20 were racing side by side. Maybe thought he was clear, just wasn't quite clear. With these next gen cars, the back bumper kind of sticks out a little bit. So, as you can tell, some of these guys not exactly sure where their bumper is. It takes a little getting used to these new cars. 32 into the 18. He gets some damage, quite a bit of damage. Back live with our leader, Quentin Clark, still out front. This is the Gadgit Solutions Next Gen Series. And Gadgit Solutions provides IT services and support throughout central Indiana, specializing and focusing on the needs of local small businesses, driven to create strong partnering relationships, replicating the personal, committed feel your own customers come to expect from you. You can go to gadgetsolutions.com and check them out. Big thanks to Gadgit Solutions for sponsoring the series. We will be right back in just 1 second. All right, we are back with you. Pace car still out on the track. You guys near the back came in and topped off. As we run right now. Trying to get our timing and scoring right. There are 38 cars on the lead lap. May have to stay towards the front of the pack. Having some issues with the timing and scoring. Hopefully we get that sorted out for you next week. Right now, double file. They'll get ready to go green again. Quentin Clark will lead us off. Gary Cronenwet, second spot. John Elkins in third. Caleb McCarthy in fourth position. Landon Lacey fifth. John Anderson, Michael Overstreet, Brandon Laster, Aaron Mack, Ryan Smith. They'll round out your top 10. We'll wait for the pace car to pull back out. Pace car is onto the pit lane. Green flag. And again, this time, will we see that outside lane try to just jump down into the inside as quick as they can, or will they try and get a run and go around on the high side? Door to door, the 88 and the 94 up front. 88 of Cronenwet gets the push from McCarthy, gets out to the lead. Cronenwet ducks down in front of Quentin Clark. Now the outside lane trying to keep the momentum. But McCarthy going to get dipped down into fourth spot into the inside line. And now everyone abandoning the top, heading down to the bottom. And Brayton right now stuck on the high line. Caution again. What that one's for. There we go, the 26, he's involved. Go back and take a look. Right there we go. Oh, and the 26 and the 48 make contact. Heavy damage for the 42s. They got up into the outside wall. Yeah, you see the 42. Pinot. Pencow. Excuse me. Definitely quite a bit of damage on that Chevrolet. The 10 laps in, nobody's pitted yet up in the front runners. To get fuel, we'll see if anybody comes in this time around. And you'll see our league sponsors up in the top right. Several cars down the pit lane. Only 5 cars staying out right now. Quentin will restart in 6th position. He's the first one to come in and top off with fuel. Your 5 that stayed out there: Gary Cronenwet, Jonathan Byram, Josh Loon, Colton Malone, Frank Wade. Your top 5 all stay out. Everyone else comes in to top off with fuel. They're going to have a significant amount more, I would believe, especially more than Cronenwet. But we've gone 11 laps and already had 2 cautions, so maybe that's what Gary is banking on. We're going to have quite a few more cautions. We should be going back double file. Gary Cronenwet out front. He's one of our sponsors in this league, Cronenwet Motorsports. They're an ARCA street stock race team out of Taylor, Michigan. Not 1, but 2 primary ARCA series cars out of the CMS stable. The team competes regularly at Flat Rock Speedway and Toledo Speedway. For more team and schedule information, visit them on Facebook at Cronenwet Motorsports. Make sure you go check out all of our sponsors. Go give them all the likes on Facebook. "12 laps in. We're almost halfway through the stage. Once again, that will be on lap 30. So the 88 knows that nobody should be able to make it to the end. It'll be close to make it to the end from here on their fuel amount. They'll have 40 cars on the racetrack. Green flag is back out. Car's already down there below the yellow line, trying to get going. Gary out front. Jonathan's going to slip in behind him. They got a good restart there. Once again, everybody trying to get down to the inside line. That time, Kayla McCarthy continues to fall back. She was top 4 early in this race. She's now lost 7 positions. She's still trying to find her way to the inside line. The 3 was trying to do some side drafting in front, Colton Malone. And there goes Kayla McCarthy into the bottom line. She'll slip back to 13th position. The 3's able to get down in front, but Kayla McCarthy jumps back to the high lane. That's going to allow the 13 of Brayton Laster to fill that gap. McCarthy, everyone with a big run. McCarthy just dropping back to the rear. No help in the outside line. Up front, Cronenwet still out front. Yellow flag. We'll take a look. Oh, several cars involved. The 3 was one of them. He was near the front. Let's take a look. We can figure out what happened up here. Once again, these guys getting used to this new car. You see that rear bumper, how it's curved. And if you hit it just wrong, you'll send someone around. And the 43 and the 3 get together. That 43 iconic paint scheme straight to the outside wall. Major damage for a lot of cars involved. And McCarthy gets in it. She was trying to get back out of the way. The big damage for the number 3. There's the 43. Garrett West. Major damage. Had a tow to the pit lanes. It's going to be a couple of minutes before Garrett can get that car fixed and use one of his fast repairs. He may go a lap down. And here comes Brayton Laster into the pit lane. Cronenwet stays out again. Playing some pit strategy. All those cars, it says they're out. They're not out. We're just having an issue with time and the scoring. A few cars damaged in that one. Kayla McCarthy looked like she had gotten some damage. You see some rear end damage. You can look at the right side of the car. Not a whole lot of damage on the right. It looks like more on the left. And not a lot of nose damage. Some damage there to the left front fender. And the spoiler has some damage. And the whole left of the rear. So some damage there for Kayla McCarthy as she'll have to try and manage that as she goes forward. These drivers don't want to use their fast repair if they don't have to. So Kayla going to stay out there and try and manage the damage as long as she can. We're about to go green again. We're double file throughout the field. Gary Cronenwell on the inside. Jonathan Byram up on the top side. We're still trying to get these cars settled as where they go. It looks like the lights are back on the pace car. We'll go back around another lap. Some of these drivers not able to get settled on where they need to be. Adam Brown currently scored 29th. I think our issue with the timing and scoring is something that I would have to log out of the session to repair, so we're going to keep up as best we can up front. This time, pace lights off on the pace car. Top three have not pitted yet. They've been out there for 17 laps. Guess we'll see how much fuel they save to see if they can make it to the end of the stage. Everyone from fourth on back shouldn't have an issue. We're back to green flag racing. This time Byram gets a big run on the high line. Byram will get down in the 54 into the first position. That pit strategy may pay off as he's gained 16 positions to get up front. Try and race for this stage win. These guys beginning to push kind of hard to try and get up into the top 10. Matt Wilkinson dropping back, though. He started up there in third. Currently back to 8th. This outside line trying to find the momentum somewhere. They just haven't been able to get the outside line working in the way that it needs to have good side-by-side racing. This battle right here for the 8th position between Matt Wilkinson and Enzo. The 14 will get by. '58 of James Fox. He'll move into the 9th spot. Cody Bullock now into the top 10 in the number 5. Oh, caution. No caution yet. Still green. There it is. As several cars go spinning. This was right up front. Figure out which number that was. The 53 is one of them involved. They go into the corner, the 53 and the 69 right together. Oh, the 69 came up just a touch, but or the 53, excuse me, came up just a touch, but the 69 right on the door. Several cars nail the 53. He goes into the air and flips. Crazy. We'll go back and take one more look at that, but this time we'll go from the in-car camera. We'll show you what he saw. Right into the outside wall, and then he absolutely goes for a ride. That thing goes flipping through the corner, lands on his roof. And ends up upside down, so. Jonathan Byram, your leader. Fourth caution in, 23 laps down out of 100. Just a few laps left until the end of stage 1. I'll take this opportunity to talk to you about Patriot Auto Solutions. Patriot Auto Solutions is one of your one-stop shop for all automotive refinishing needs, specializing in vehicle customization like aftermarket color matching. Look no further if you are seeking paint and refinishing needs in or around the state of Indiana. Our shop is home to over 10 years of automotive knowledge, repair, and refinishing experience. For more information, visit our Instagram or Facebook page at Patriot Auto Solutions. Make sure you check out Patriot Auto Solutions on Facebook and Instagram. Lights off on the pace cars. We're getting ready to go green. About a quarter of the way through. And what we've seen is this next-gen car looks like it likes single-file racing. We haven't seen a whole lot of side-by-side yet. Also, with these next-gen cars, one thing you don't think about, but these cars use a sequential shifter. And a lot of these guys used to using the H pattern. So if you push that shifter the wrong direction, you're going to go down instead of up. And you will blow that engine. So you got to be extra careful with a different setting. As we go green again. The outside line has had a little bit better restarts than the inside line. And this one may be no different. Cronenwet to the lead. He's going to be able to get back down to the inside. Oh, there they go around the 99. Sliding down the backstretch, gets nailed. Caution on the speedway. Several cars involved. The 51 there, one of them. The 99 was who went around. Let's see what got this started. 99 down, just wasn't quite low enough. A slight gap there. The 24 McCarthy tries to fill it. The 99 moves down to try and get down in front, but it was just a little too late. The 99 around into the outside wall and then gets absolutely nailed by that yellow car. Go back up front. 26 laps in, so just a few laps before the end of the stage. You can feel that intensity starting to ratchet up as these drivers trying to push their way to the front. We get down to the end of these stages. So let's go through your top 10 right now. We'll see if that's how it ends at the stage caution. But right now, it's Gary Cronenwet in first position. Second place is Jonathan Byram. Number 54, Quentin Clark in third. The 94. 14 of Enzo. The 31 of Aaron Mack in fifth spot. James Fox, he's in sixth. He's gained 20 spots from the start. Cody Bullock up to seventh. Garrett Fox up to eighth position. Simon Grills in ninth. Running that Patriot Auto Solutions car. And Dylan Kalin in the number 18 at 10th position. He's gained 20 positions. Mason Keller in 12th has gained to 27 positions. Colton Malone's gained 20 spots in 14th. And of course, James Fox has also gained 20 spots. So some big movers here at the end of the stage, all trying to get stage points. Looks like we may have about a 2-lap shootout for the end of the stage. Go double file. When we come back green, we'll have 2 laps to go, and then it will be the end of the stage. So we'll get that going. We've seen the outside line have an advantage, but that 54 has some left rear damage. We'll see if that affects the drivability of this car for at least 2 laps. And we know Gary waiting for that caution at the end of the stage to come in and take fuel. One of the very few cars still yet to pit as the pace car peels in, and we'll go green flag racing once again. 2 laps to the end of the stage. That time, Cronenwet and Clark get a great start. 54 going to try and jump down into the 3rd position. He's going to be able to do it. Still side by side. Aaron Mack will move into the 4th position. Cody Bullock up to 5th. Oh, Simon Grills with a block on Enzo. Looks like the top 10 will be single file. 11th, the first side by side. Colton Malone on the move. He's going to try and get up here and get a point before the end of the stage. He'll head to the outside. And he'll get around, but they touch the hard into the inside wall. The 18, a violent crash. No cautions. We continue racing. There's the caution, the 18. Back out onto the speedway. That'll be the end of the stage. So your stage winner for stage 1, as he crosses the line, be Gary Cronenwet first, Quentin Clark second, Aaron Mack third, 4th Cody Bullock, Simon Grills in 5th, Enzo will end up in 6th, 7th James Fox, 8th Garrett Fox, in 9th Kyle Lefevre in the number 28, and Masterson in the number 32. He'll round out our top 10. Now our leaders will be able to pit, get fuel. We'll stick with Gary, see if he takes tires as well. At least right sides for the 88. He'll go ahead and take all 4. Some of these cars are going to be able to get out in front of him. So as they come out of the pits, the 14 of Enzo, the number 9, the 007, the 93, Michael Overstreet, Jason Blaney in the 22. Braden Lasser, Jonathan Byram. They'll all stay out on the pit. I think Byram may get a penalty for pitting too early. We'll see. Brandon Browning, he'll be the first out of the pits in 7th spot. Quentin Clark. Masterson will come back out in 9th position. Cody Bullock in 10th. Nathan Lyon in the 33. He's moved up into 11th position. Brandon Browning will head back down the pit lane. That'll put Nathan Lyon now into the top 10. So we'll go back double file. Cronenwet won that stage. He'll be 11th on the restart, so he's going to have to try and find his way back up through the field. Number 14 right now out front. So now we're looking for lap 60 to get to the end of stage number 2. See that number 9 on the high side. He's got some nose damage, so we'll have to see if he's able to keep up front. As you see, just a big flat spot on that nose. That's going to maybe going to be a parachute. We'll see if it's different here in the next gen car as we go back. Green flag racing. He's able to stay side by side up on the high lane. Adam Brown trying to get around on the top. Everybody getting out single file once again. The top 10 still side by side though. The 9 fighting hard. Trying to get around. Can he get enough of a run? The 93 Michael Overstreet with a push on the top line. The 93 doing all he can, trying not to wreck the 9, but give enough of a push. The 9 to get around, a big shove that time, gets the 9 sideways, and they may have to check up. The 93 will go high. We're 3 wide for the lead. And that really upset the outside line. They've lost a lot of momentum. Still got several cars up front. The 93 now leading the charge. In the outside lane, the 9 cannot get up close enough to give a big enough push. I think they're going to have to get a little bit closer. Still side by side from most of the front pack. The 14 of Enzo leads. 007. Michael Doan in second. And Jason Blaney, that number 22, he sits in the third spot. He has gained 33 positions to get up into the third position. A fantastic run right now for Jason Blaney. The 94 moves to the high lane. He sees the outside getting a little bit of momentum. Cronenwett trying to make a move. He sticks his nose to the outside. Has to get back down into the bottom lane. While these cars side by side trying to side draft off of each other. The 88 of Cronenwett does move to the outside. He's right behind the 5 of Cody Bullock. The 94 now to the lead. Can he clear the inside line? He will get down. Now we're finally seeing some good side-by-side racing. The 94 has a huge gap on the 14. That may prove detrimental. One car up into the outside wall. Able to keep it going. It's like the 32 of Masterson. As he did lose some momentum and everyone's going to pass by on the low lanes. Oh, and there goes some of our leaders. The 88. He's involved. Let's see what happened. This starts way back here as the 5 was the leader in the outside line. See if we can get a look from the chopper. The 88 moves to the high side, and that puts Cody Bullock in the middle. They're 3 wide, and I think the 88 just wanted back into the middle lane. And with these cars, the accordion effect where they're back, there's space, there's not space. It's very bad in these cars. So the 88 thought he had a gap, wasn't quite there. The 93 and he make contact, and several cars involved. A big one here at Daytona. The 88, a lot of damage for our stage 1 winner. And he will take his fast repair and get back out onto the speedway. And now several cars pitting, some staying out. Enzo, the first one in. Landon Lacey in as well. Staying out on the racetrack is number 94, Quentin Clark. He'll stay out and inherit the lead. Cody Bullock in second. Aaron Mack, third position. John Anderson, Garrett Fox, Wesley Jeanette, Nathan Line, Colton Malone, Ryan Smith, Caleb McCarthy all stay out on the racetrack. And Enzo will drop back to 11th, first car to pit. And some of these cars that stayed out, they might be able to make it to the end of the stage, but we'll need some cautions. That's what Cronenwett did just a few minutes ago. He was able to make it the entire stage. All these guys pitted 9 or 10 laps ago. We'll get double file and get ready to go green again. Quentin Clark will be the leader. Cody Bullock up into the second spot. And we've seen the outside line be very good on the restarts. I'm not sure if this league has a rule where the leader can choose the outside line, but I think if I was that leader, I may do that. We watch the pace car pull back down the pit lane. We're almost halfway, 42 in. Green flag, we're already seeing guys jump down to the inside. Only 2 cars left up on the top side. Bullock with a run, though. Kind of out by himself. We'll see if he's able to get down. He's not going to be able to. And the 5 really costs the outside line some momentum. And he's going to end up sent into the wall. Cody Bullock, he'll have some right side damage. We'll see if he's able to drop down. And he's going to do that. Will that cause an issue? Not sure, as he looks like he may be a little bit off the pace. Oh, gets sideswiped. Cody Bullock around sideways, now backwards through the infield. No caution. Now there's a caution. Simon Grills goes around. Oh, that's who was involved early. He and the 5 got together, and now that time, oh, big damage. As the 9 and the 24 get together, and we'll back this up a little bit further, and we'll see the first contact. Sure, we're on the right car here. Number 8, there we go. Yeah, not sure if he just didn't know the 5 was there or what happened, but drives right down into the 5, sends him around. We saw him go sliding. Then the 24 able to get to the inside of the 8. Oh, and then right there, a big, just another door swipe to the 24, and the 8 will go around. He gets clobbered. So 2 incidents there for the number 8 of Simon Grills. He is in the pit lane with a very badly damaged race car. And Clark still your leader, 45 laps in. This is the 8th caution of the night. This does put us halfway through the stage. 45 laps down. 15 laps through stage 2. 15 to go. As we're looking for lap 60. 43 will get the free pass. I'd put Garrett West back on the lead lap, I believe. That are 1 lap down now. Take a minute to talk about Blaster Motorsports. Brayton Laster Motorsports is a professional dirt super late model race team located in central Indiana. After starting racing at the age of 8 in go-karts, Brayton now looks to take on dirt tracks across the Midwest. For more team info and schedule information, visit us on Facebook at Brayton Laster Motorsports. Go check out Brayton Laster Motorsports on Facebook. Lights off on the pace car. We get ready to go green again. Back down the back stretch, the 94 out front. Let's see if we can get some green flag racing. 47 laps in, and we're already to our 8th caution. See the 74, quite a bit of damage on the back of that car. The spoiler all jacked up. We'll see how that affects him aerodynamically. But green flag is out. Quentin gets a jump. And the front two out to a good restart. A big jump on the rest of the field. They're still side by side from third on back. These guys really aggressive on the side drafting. And that may be what's causing a lot of these cautions, is just over aggressiveness. Let's do a little thing I like to call turn up the volume. And there's a big wreck. Big one, number 2, 50 laps in, right at halfway. A lot of cars involved. And it is a parking lot. The 3 has to tow. The 3 was right up there at the front of this one. They go down into turn 3. 3 right down on the door of the 9. And up the racetrack comes what looks like the 81. Or the 61. Yep, the 61. And cars just come piling in as the 3 gets sideways. So many cars involved. A lot of good race cars. Major damage in this one. The 3 gets absolutely bounced around like a pinball. Cars continually driving in and crashing. So the list too long to name them all right through there, as they a lot of cars involved in that wreck. But this is going to put us just a few laps short of the stage. Ninth caution so far in this race, we're just past halfway. This league has 2 faster pairs available, so you've got to wonder just how many faster pairs there are remaining for some of these guys, as we've had several incidents so far. You know, some of these guys haven't used any faster pairs. Wesley Jeanette up 31 positions from the green flag, trying to get stage points here in stage 2. Does have some damage there on the rear, but don't know how it hasn't affected him much. The 9 behind him has had that front end damage for a large part of this race, and he's still up there in the front of this thing, so not affecting him too badly. It's like the 42, he's got some front end damage. We're about to go green flag once again. We're going to have 7 laps, I believe, till the end of the stage. Lap 60 will be the end of stage number 2. Quentin Clark, he's led a lot of laps today. He's still out front in the number 94. The 74 of Wesley Jeanette needs to have a good restart here to try and get out front and get this stage win. This is maybe where it comes down to, is on this restart as we go back. Green flag. '74, not the restart he wanted. The 9 of Adam Brown going to be able to get down on the inside right behind the 94. He'll get around. The 74 will be able to drop into the 4th position as the 93 of Michael Overstreet gets by too. '13 to Braden Laster. He's moved up to the 5th spot. Donnie Klein, the 281, up to 6th position. Garrett Fox. Cody Bullock in the number 5. He was involved in an incident there just a few laps ago. John Anderson and Kyle Lefevre currently your top 10 as we get down to the end of the stage. Single file right now for the top group. One moves to the outside. That is the 28. Nobody able to get much of a run to try and make a pass on the outside. Enzo has been able to get around and move into the top 10 now, the number 14. And these cars, the way they've made them on iRacing, the force feedback in your wheel that, kind of push back as you turn the wheel is it's less in these cars. So if you don't turn that up, it's a wildly different feel than the Gen 6 car that we just came from. So that's why you're seeing a lot of these guys kind of swerving all over the place that you probably wouldn't normally see in the Gen 6 car doing that same thing. And that's because this new car, it's much different. You have to drive it different. You have to set your settings in car different. And a lot of these guys still getting used to that. Single file for all of the front group. Top 14 in a single file line. Then there's a big gap back to the 31 of Aaron Mack. Number 8 is a lap down. "21 cars in the lead lap. Everyone back from there is at least one lap down. This will be the white flag for the stage. No, actually, it'll be next lap. We've got 2 laps to go here in the stage. Quentin Clark in the lead. Adam Brown in second. Nobody really able to make a move. These cars very difficult to get enough of a run on the high lane. We'll see if anybody pulls out to try and pass. White flag on the stage this time around. Quentin Clark out front. Adam Brown not going to be able to challenge unless he can get some friends to come along. We'll see if he can get a run. The 93 of Michael Overstreet. He's to the bumper of the 9. Can he push him around? And there's just not enough energy from the second car to really make anything happen. It looks like he's going to settle for the second position. Caution on the speedway. That is the stage caution. The 94 of Quentin Clark able to make it on fuel. Still looking for our first major green flag run. We'll have 40 laps to go. That is the 10th caution. Of course, 2 of those cautions are stage cautions. And your stage results for stage 2, Quentin Clark is your stage winner. Adam Brown in second. Third is Michael Overstreet. Wesley Jeanette in 4th. Brayton Laster, 5th position. Donnie Klein in 6th. Garrett Fox, 7th. Cody Bullock in 8th. 9th is John Anderson. And Enzo in the number 14 will round out the stage in 10th position. As a lot of cars choose to pit. First car in, Quentin Clark. A lot of cars are staying out. A lot of different pit strategies, some faking. Actually, only 3 cars end up coming down the pit lane. So Quentin Clark, John Anderson, Wesley Jeanette will all head down the pit lane and take fuel. They should be able to make it on one stop from here if it came down to that. So, of the cars that stayed out, Aaron Brown in first. Second is Michael Overstreet. Third, Brayton Laster. Fourth is Donnie Klein. Garrett Fox in 5th. Cody Bullock in 6th position. Enzo stays out. He's in 7th. Landon Lacey in 8th position. John Elkins in 9th. Kyle Lefevre will round out the top 10. And Quentin Clark will come out of the pits in 20th. Both John Anderson and Wesley Jeanette able to get out in front of Quentin. Now everybody else coming down the pit lane, so the pits must not have been open last time, as now everyone comes down under a green flag, or under the green pits being open light. So an interesting development. Oh, and a lot of cars beat the number 9 out of the pits. The 32's over there up against the outside wall. Not sure what happened there. That's Masterson. Still trying to get it back going straight. So we'll have to see how that works out. Will Lacey, Jeanette, and Clark, will they all get black flags? We'll see. It looks like they have come down below the yellow line to accept that they will be. And they are dropping back. So pitting under a closed pit. 32 having difficulties, maybe having some equipment difficulties as he's trying to get that car back rolling. Braden Laster is our leader right now, the number 13. One car taking the wave around to get back onto the lead lap. That was the 17 of Tyler Isley. He'll get back on the lead lap with that. Currently scored in the 25th position. So now both stages in the books. We'll head to the final 40-lap segment, which is going to be down to 35 laps now after the stage caution. Braden Laster up front. See if he can hold it for 35 more laps. Caution back on the speedway as the lights are back on the pace car. It looks like one car was not able to get lined up in time. So we will re-rack them again. Lights off now on the pace car. We'll go back around another lap. Cody Bullock in the outside line. We'll see if he's able to get a good restart to get around the 13. But your leader is Braden Laster. Cars already stacked into the inside line. As you see a lot of damaged cars the top of your screen in the back of this field, and we will go green again. That time Braden with a great restart. Landon Lacey right behind with a big push. The Braden will get out front, landing right behind. Lacey had a phenomenal push there on the restart to push the 13 out front, and not only out front, but about a mile ahead of the rest of the pack as they're racing side by side. Adam Brown and Cody Bullock battling for the third position. That two-car tandem trying to stay out front. But even these cars side by side keeping up. There's just so much energy in the big pack. Adam Brown now has caught the front two, the big pack all together now. The 5 of Cody Bullock going to try and find his way around those two front cars that had a little bit of a gap but don't now. Garrett Fox, he'll dip down to the inside. He was right behind the 5 of Cody Bullock, who's still stuck up on the high lane. A little bit of help behind him. That's starting to go away for Cody Bullock, trying to find a gap in the inside line, but there's just nothing there right now. Brayton will maintain the lead. The side-by-side racing, though, is back for the 9th position. Michael Doan and Cody Bullock. But Bullock, just not enough momentum as he continues to drop. Even with some cars behind him, it's not enough. These cars, I think, are going to find their way single file. The 31 to get down. The 5 going to try and get in. The 31 has to let out, but he does let him down, and now only one car still stuck up on the high lane. He'll fall into the back of the line. That's the 93 of Michael Overstreet. So now 16 cars in this lead pack. Wesley Jeanette, Simon Grills, and John Anderson, 17th, 18th, and 19th, all right behind them. Joseph Peters rounds out your top 20. He's a good ways behind. The single file all the way around the racetrack. Brayton Laster going to get some laps led. '53 of Landon Lacey has been a fantastic pusher. And caution on the speedway, the 99 sideways. Some damage on the hood. Go back and see if we can figure out what happened here. He spins off the racetrack. He's right there in the back of this group. The 58 was a lap car, but he was up on the high side. Not sure he really had anything to do with this. Looks like the 93 got a big run and maybe didn't quite hit him square. Yeah, there may have been some check up there as well, but the 93 just doesn't hit the 99 square, and that sends him around. He does his best to save it, but hood gone on that car, a lot of damage. He was involved in a wreck earlier, so we know at least one of his fast repairs is gone. And that's what causes this caution. Caution number 11 for the number 99 of Matt Wilkinson. A lot of cars in the pit lane, but most stay out here. Michael Doan pits. Cody Bullock in the pit lane. Michael Overstreet as well. Simon Grills, he'll come down. Cody Bullock. Masterson, J-Rob Masterson. Wesley Jeanette, Aaron Gordon all topping off with fuel or getting some damage repaired. Nathan Lyon there, 22 laps down. Brayton Laster first, Landon Lacey second, Adam Brown. He's in the third spot. Caleb McCarthy in fourth. Number 14 of Enzo in fifth position. Garrett Fox in sixth. He's gained 10 spots to get up there and battle for this win. John Elkins in seventh. Kyle Lefevre in eighth position. Ninth is Brandon Browning, number 48. And Quentin Clark back up to the top 10 now. He tries to find his way back up to the lead. This time the lights should go off on the pace car. And they do. We'll go double file and get ready for another restart. We'll see if the outside line is able to stay strong in numbers and push and compete with that inside line this time around. We know a couple of times the outside lane has been able to push enough to get the leader of the outside line down in front of the inside line. But haven't seen a lot of side-by-side racing. There was some for about 4 or 5 laps, about the most that we've been able to see. And as we are 3/4 of the way through this race, we'll see if that causes some intense side-by-side racing or if these guys are just going to settle in. We know we're going to see at least one more pit stop. Should at least see one more pit stop if we don't get a lot of more cautions. Pace car off. It's on Brayton Laster now to bring us down to the green flag. And a good restart for the inside line. Landon Lacey and Caleb McCarthy on the outside looking to fight back. They'll try and get the momentum down the backstretch. Lacey up to the second position, trying to get down in front of Brown, but it's not going to work. Caleb McCarthy right on the bumper. Big pushes. They're staying strong here at Daytona with 25 to go. The Gadgit Solutions 250. Brayton Laster holding the inside line. He is staying out front, but there is a gap between him and the 9. And you see the difference there as we take a look from the blimp. The outside line right together. Can they get enough momentum? Here they come. They're building up strength on the outside. They're a lot tighter packed together. Don't know if it's going to make much of a difference. The outside line continues to fade backwards. And now we are single file. The 53 able to make his way back around the 85. Puts 2 tires below the yellow line. There comes the 28 of Kyle Lefevre up on the high side, but he's by himself, not going to be able to go anywhere. But we're back to single file racing. Great Lasser out front, getting chased by Adam Brown. Not enough momentum to even make a move. We'll see if this is going to be a last lap kind of thing. But if they go green from here, they should have to pit one more time. We'll take a look at the pit strategy. 16 laps since the last pit for a lot of these guys. It says 47 for Clark, but we know he pitted just a few laps ago. Probably about 16. Not sure why it's not registering for him, but he came in at the same time as everyone else. So 16 laps of fuel already used. We're seeing some trying to go on the outside line. That's the 94, Quentin Clark, leading the group. The 48 of Brandon Browning going with him. And now we're seeing numbers up on the high line. Will it be enough? Brandon Browning in the 48 trying to push this outside line forward. Kayla McCarthy going to move to the bottom. She may leapfrog a couple of her competitors. Brandon Browning trying to be extra careful up there on the high lane. Doesn't want to turn the 94. Oh, is there a car on the outside going a lap down? Doesn't cause an incident. Does a great job of staying up on the high line. Great Laster, Adam Brown, Enzo and John Elkins, as well as Garrett Fox, all single file, but now the 94 up alongside of Garrett Fox for 5th position. Two cars in the high lane, not going to be enough. 20 laps to go. Now a third car has joined the top line. That's the 53 of Landon Lacey. The 281 of Donnie Klein. He jumps up there. And the 28 of Kyle Lefevre, but just don't think it's going to be enough. The 94, who was beside the 85, is now fighting with the 29. 2 positions further back, just continues to drop. Clark still fighting, but these guys are losing time on the outside lane. Oh, the 29 up the track, right on the door of the 94. You can hear the throttle of Kyle Lefevre as he's trying not to run over the car in front of him. You get some big runs. Like I said earlier, this kind of accordion effect where there's space and then not, and then space and then not. It's very bad in these cars. You see him get a big run on the 74. He's got to lift. He lifts again. And right there, almost all the way out of the gas to not run over the car in front of him. But then at the same time, as soon as he lifts off the gas, that whole line pulls away from him. So then there's a gap again. And that's going all the way through this field. That time it created enough space for the 94 to get that gap and get down to the inside. You see just a lot of working the throttle. You typically think that Daytona is a type of track where you're just wide open the whole way around, but in these cars you're not. It is, you are if you're the leader, maybe second, but further in the pack, the further in the pack you are, the more you are off throttle, on throttle a lot. Brayton Laster still out front. Single file as we're coming down to 15 laps remaining. That time it looks like we may have a couple of takers in the pit lane. John Elkins in the 39. He gets hit by, looks like Mason Keller in the 29. And Mason Keller is probably going to have a pit road penalty for going out into the grass there to try and get back down on a pit lane. And he will pull straight through and go back out onto the racetrack, trying to not lose a lap, but we'll see, as he will have, like I said, most likely a pit road penalty. And here comes some more takers. Adam Brown, Landon Lacey, Quentin Clark. Everybody trying to get down to pit road speed. Kayla McCarthy and Brandon Browning. They all come down the pit lane this time. Oh, Brandon Browning misses his pit stall, has to back up. And what that's going to cost him, it's probably going to cost him being able to come out with his teammates. We'll see if he's able to keep the draft. Yeah, not going to cost him a whole lot as he's able to keep up. Well, there's a bit of a gap, so he's going to have to try and catch these guys and stay tucked up for the draft. Hopefully he doesn't lose it. And now the rest of the top group will come in except for a couple. Enzo, Brayton Laster in the pits, Garrett Fox, Simon Grills, Cody Bullock, and Donnie Klein. Oh, so we see Brayton Laster get spun as the 14's trying to get into his pit stall. And the 14 attempting to get down into his pits, right into the door of the number 13. And our leader, who's led a lot of this race, especially here in the closing laps, he'll go sideways. And the 14 missed his pit by a mile. So those two will likely have to work together now. after having an incident on pit road. So the 13 way behind. He'll lose a lap. Wesley Jeanette right now, the only car on the track that has not pitted yet. He's out there by himself. Looks like the 28 may have gone around. He goes down pit lane, Kyle Lefevre. He gets back up to pace. And now he'll go a lap down as Wesley Jeanette still out there. $11 laps to go. We'll see if he has to stop sometime soon. Says he pitted 17 laps ago, so trying to push it as far as he can. Michael Doan now goes down the pit lane. The 007, he'll fall to at least 12th. And now Michael Doan has pitted. Jeanette comes around for another lap. We're down to the final 10 to go. Quentin Clark, Landon Lacey, Brandon Browning. These are the first of the cars that have already pitted. And Brandon Browning, you know, he missed his pit stall in the pits, but a great recovery as he is up here in the top 3 of the cars that have already pitted. Landon Lacey, that's what a good push looks like. Right there on the tail. He breaks that bubble and gets right there and pushes, and these cars will push, but that rear bumper is round, and it's difficult to stay directly where you need to stay, especially with the nose of the Chevy that's also a little bit pointed. All these cars in a straight line as they are reeling in Jeanette. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it to the end, but he's so far ahead right now. I don't think that these cars can catch him unless he has to pit. Aaron Gordon is in second position in the 51. He is also yet to pit. Now he'll come down. As that major group was approaching him, about to pass him. But he'll choose to come in and top off with fuel. Here comes Wesley Jeanette. We'll see how much longer he's going to be able to make it. Seven laps to go. This major group here has caught him by a couple of seconds in the last couple of laps. So I don't know if he's attempting to save fuel to try and make it 7 more laps. That would be impressive to make it that far in a fuel run. As they've caught 4 seconds in the last 2 laps. Wesley Jeanette out again. 6 laps to go. Can he make it? 22 laps already off in fuel for the number 74. I think he'll have to pit in the next couple of laps. I don't see him being able to make it. The main group is catching him. There he'll have to peel in. The 74 peels down into the pit lane. 6 laps to go with a 23-second lead. And we'll see a quick top off. And here comes the main pack, as they'll get the 5 to go signal. And they all pass the 74s. He's just now coming out of the pit lane. These cars snaking around a lap car. They'll have to go to the high lane. Clark moves down, but he may move down too quick. He's able to get back up and block the 53. These guys are getting antsy now. Very electrifying up front. As they pass by that lap car, you see these guys get stretched out a little bit. Will that create a run, enough of a run to get around our leader, Quentin Clark? And I'll go ahead and say that I believe Landon Lacey is the best pusher in this field, at least so far today. We'll see if someone can push somebody around this 94, but Landon Lacey, we've seen him push out a couple of guys on the restart from the outside line. We're seeing him right now, one of the only cars to be able to break the bubble and get to the back bumper of the car in front of him. Caution on the speedway. The 14 involved. We'll see if we can go back and see what happened there. Oh, the 43, a lapped car. That's Garrett West. As the 14 was approaching. Thought last second that they were going to go to the outside. As the 43 moves to the inside. And then I think he sees them coming and trying to kind of read each other's mind. The 43 goes high and the 14 not able to avoid him. And that sends the 43 around and back into the rear bumper. The 14 hard contact to the outside wall for the 14. So the 43, who has already had a lot of damage, that may end his day. It looks like we're going to have overtime. And we will stack these guys up 2 by 2. And we'll see if we can get some side-by-side racing. So this should be a wild one. And this will be our first real opportunity to see if the outside line can overpower the inside line. Landon Lacey, who's been such a good pusher, we'll see how good he is leading a line. Looks like Quentin Clark may choose the high line here. We'll see. We haven't seen that all night long. Yes, Quentin Clark chooses the outside lane. And that may be a major implication, but it's probably because he wants Landon Lacey behind him. If he can just get down in front of the 53, Landon Lacey needs to have the restart of his life right here down on the inside line to try and hold that 94 on the top side. The 53 not quite side by side. He's going to need to get right up there alongside the 94 and hope that he can go the same time the 94 does. Green flag. He's not going to be able to hold the 94 up in the high lane as they're frantic behind. Quentin Clark to the lead. The 9 of Adam Brown's on the outside line. Landon Lacey with a big push. But they're already getting single file. The top 4 single file. Now the top 5. There's not enough to make the move on the high lane. White flag on the speedway. Quentin Clark, our leader. Landon Lacey, the best pusher in the field. They're in second, and he is holding the 94 out front. The 24, Kayla McCarthy, she's going to be the one to make the move, but nobody there to go with her. There's the 31. He's going to give a push. Is it going to be enough, though? Nobody's going to be able to have enough of a run as Quentin Clark's going to come off of turn 4 and single file down the front stretch. And it is checkered flag for Quentin Clark, our race winner. Finishing in second is Landon Lacey. And third place is Brandon Browning, as there was a pretty big wreck there across the line. Let's take a quick look at that. I think the 24 may have been involved in a wreck. Let's... Somewhere right here, the 24. Coming out of turn 4. Oh! Couple gets turned right up into the side. A couple of cars go flipping. Look like the 007 maybe involved there, but we will watch our winner, Quentin Clark. There he goes, Quentin Clark. And he is your winner here in the first race of the Gadgit Solutions Next Gen Cup Series. Then we get a word with some of our top finishers. As Quentin Clark continues to burn it down. He'll blow it up. Quentin Clark. Quentin Clark he'll be parking that car today. And the Lefevre's Curbing Victory Lane. Lefevre's Curbing, landscape concrete curbing contractor out of Louisville, Kentucky. And their phone number is 502-741-1871. So if you need some landscape curbing around Louisville, Kentucky, make sure you check them out, as they are the sponsor of our Victory Lane. But third place finisher Brandon Browning, let's see if we can get him in for an interview. Hey Brandon, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on, Dakota?
Hey, going good. A great run. There on that last pit stop, it looked like you kind of slid through your pit stop, or through your pit stall, and I didn't think you were going to be able to keep up, but a great exit. You keep up, and you run all the way up to third place, and you're able to keep up with the draft. What did your race look like overall, and tell us about that last pit stop, last pit sequence.
Yeah, for sure. It was very scary because obviously, I was running with Kayla, Quentin, and Landon there. Landon's actually one of my best friends on the entire sim, so we try to race together as much as we can. And luckily, I think he spun his tires and went wide, which allowed us to catch back up on the exit of the pit stop. As far as the race, I had a prior commitment last Tuesday, wasn't able to make my dual race, so I was actually racing for a championship, wound up finishing third in it. So I knew it was going to be a long one. I just wanted to stay alive and actually screwed up. I should have had one fast repair left at the end, but I accidentally forgot to uncheck it early and burnt through it real quick.
What kind of crash were you involved in? It looked like there was, especially early in this race, a lot of big crashes out there.
It was just, I think it was a two-car spin that just kind of ballooned into the big one. I went through the grass, and unfortunately, I'm not sure who it was. One of the cars rolled down in front of me through the grass in 3, and it just killed the motor. That's where the second one went. The first one, I just got into the back of someone, had like 5 seconds of damage, and repaired it. Didn't want to use a fast repair, and unfortunately missed my box once. I had a car blocking me from getting in, and I didn't want to, get a penalty or anything. So I just went on through and then come back around, pitted, and absolutely forgot to uncheck it.
Well, you had a great race and a great recovery as you come home third. You got anybody you'd like to thank after this one today, Brandon?
Absolutely. First and foremost, I want to thank my little boy for kind of hanging out with me there. Both of my boys actually hung out with me for the first part of the race. Of course, my wife for allowing me to do this every week, and especially Quentin Clark, the winner. Congratulations to him. He said he really needed a win. He was having a baby coming up, might miss a few, so we wanted to stay tucked behind him. Obviously, Landon Lacey, like I said, is one of my best friends on the sim. Kayla as well, Kayla McCarthy. I raced with her in other leagues, and you as well, Dakota, for putting on the broadcast for us tonight.
Appreciate you, Brandon, and hopefully this becomes a trend of being able to talk to you each week.
Hey, I'm certainly hoping so, buddy. I hope I see you each and every week.
All right, man. You have a good one.
You too, bud.
That was third place finisher Brandon Browning. Now on to our second place finisher, Landon Lacey. Hey, Landon, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, I watched a lot of people out there, and I'm sure you're gonna go back and watch this broadcast, and you're gonna hear me talk about Landon Lacey, the best pusher in the field. Seen a lot of, I think with this car you get a lot more of accordion effect, and it's hard to bust that bubble. But you were just able to do it better than anybody else. How were you able to do that? What's the credit to being able to to really push that car in front of you?
I mean, it just you have to make sure you keep keep it square. I mean, if you get off to either side on these cars with the rear end being rounded off, um, you're more potentially to hook someone. And I think we saw a lot of that tonight with some of the cautions. But you just got to be steady. You got to know when to push, when to let off. Because if you get someone a little bit squirrely, um, you're gonna end up turning them and possibly ruining your night as well. Just it takes a lot of practice, especially getting used to these newer cars.
Yeah, it was hard for me to keep up there. Of course, the whole race there was a lot of big crashes. Did you have to use both your faster pairs, one faster pair? Did you get involved in a couple of these incidents as we've seen probably a couple of crashes involving about 10 or 15 cars?
Yeah, it was insane. Earlier in the race, I think it was the 69, kind of got into my left rear, and sent in turn three and sent me flipping. I think I flipped about at least 10, 15 times. I couldn't keep count. I was a little bit dizzy after that, to be honest with you. Um, but yeah, I ended up using both my faster pairs. Got into 3 accidents after having no faster pairs. So second place tonight is I was more than happy to follow Quentin around and take second place.
Yeah, this is the first race of this next gen series. Not sure how much experience you have in these next gen cars, but I know they're pretty new to iRacing. What are your thoughts on the next gen cars compared to the Gen 6? Do you think you're going to be more competitive in these than you were in the Gen 6, or about the same?
I mean, I think it's about the same. The guys that are fast in the Gen 6 cars are still going to be the same guys that are fast in the next gen cars. I don't think it changes, from car to car. It definitely takes a little. It's definitely going to take a little bit to learn these newer cars. But I think when everybody gets them figured out, you're still going to see the same guys up front.
Absolutely. Well, a great race for you, Landon. You got anybody you'd like to thank or anybody you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, huge shout out to my sponsors, Mid South Coating Company, Chipotle, um, Filthy Five Motorsports. Thanks to those guys for everything they do for me, even though I'm not officially a team in this league, but they help me week in and week out. So thanks to those guys. And basically, thank you to everybody that's gotten me here to this point.
Well, great job, Landon. We've got some other tracks that aren't super speedways coming up. You think, is there anything you got circled on your calendar?
Yeah, there's a couple, and the one next week for Phoenix is a big one for me. I've always really liked Phoenix, always had good finishes at Phoenix. I think as long as we can stay out of trouble next week, I think we'll be right back here in the same position that we are tonight.
Well, hopefully we'll see you one spot higher and you can park in that victory lane that you can actually park in Phoenix.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
All right, have a good one, Landon. Great job.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And now on to our winner in the Lefevre's Landscape Curbing Victory Lane, and that's Quentin Clark. Hey, Quentin, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, I got you.
Man, a very fast race car for you today. You led a lot of laps. I think you won the second stage. You may have been involved in at least one incident. Tell us about your race and what do you think about these next-gen cars?
They're pretty fun. The side drafting is insane in them. I mean, the top line really wasn't getting organized, but except for once or twice, and once it gets organized, you can really do a lot of damage with it. But yeah, I don't know how I made it out clean and survived. It was pretty wild, but we made it to the end, and I made a few friends, and we pulled out for the win.
What was your pit strategy there at the end? It looks like, there was green flag stops, a couple of guys coming in at different times. Did you think that, I think it was a 74, did you know that he was going to have to pit at some point, that he just couldn't make it to the end?
Yeah, we had an idea. We were kind of talking in a chat real quick about maybe if we beat everybody to pit road and have a really good stop and come back out, we can, get as close as we can on fuel and try to pull out front. And unfortunately, it meant we had to pass a lot of people and get around a few lap cars, and that was definitely tough, but everybody hung on tight, and we stayed a pretty solid pack there, so it ended up working out, fortunately. But got a little dicey a couple times.
Yeah, is there any of these tracks coming up that you're looking forward to running in this next gen car? I know it's a new car to iRacing. Not sure how competitive that you typically are in that Gen 6 car, but is there anything that you're really looking forward to getting some experience in this next gen?
Personally, I actually like the 87 cars. I suck in the Gen 6 cars real bad. I like these cars better than the Gen 6 cars, and the side drafting's fun. I'm looking forward to tracks like Darlington and Phoenix, where they're different shapes and good intermediate size tracks that should be fun. And if we can get some of the side draft strategy going and some pit strategy, if we can keep it clean.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like it's going to be a fun season, and you're 1 for 1, so hopefully you can go 2 for 2 next week. You mentioned Phoenix, so hopefully you can get back here to Victory Lane. You got anybody you'd like to thank or any shout outs you'd like to give?
I told Landon and Brandon it's only downhill from here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely want to give a shout out to Bon Fire for being on the car. I know they've got some music coming out soon that'll be fun to keep an eye out for. So thank you to Bon Fire, Wolfelt, Spotify for hopping on the ride.
Absolutely. Well, a great race for you, Quentin. A lot of laps led, a stage win, and a race win. Can't get much better than that. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Also, just got to shout out my wife. She is very pregnant, and so I was really hoping to squeak in a race win in case I have to miss a race in the season if that ends up coming up soon.
Well, man, that's awesome. Congratulations on that. That's a big step there.
Thank you so much.
All right, have a good one.
Had a lot of fun. Thank you.
That was Quentin Clark in the Lefevre's Curbing Victory Lane. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. Thank you for all the great comments throughout the night on not only YouTube and Facebook, but also on Twitch. Appreciate it. If you'd rather see us on Twitch, it's throttle_up. We are on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So check us out anywhere that's most convenient for you. And we'll be back next week right here at Phoenix. So that should be a very cool race, as iRacing just updated that track. It's very cool looking. So a great job to Quentin Clark, Landon Lacey, and Brandon Browning, our top 3 on through the field. Simon Grills comes home 4th place. John Elkins 5th. Cody Bullock in 6th. Adam Brown 7th. Wesley Jeanette in 8th. Donnie Klein 9th. Mason Keller will round out your top 10. And you take a look at the rest of the field, where they finish. Make sure you check us out. Give us a like on Facebook and on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. We appreciate everybody for stopping by. And until next week, we'll catch you all next time.